Hello, I'm Mr. SilverFox,
And I'm Mrs. SilverFox, and you're listening to the SilverFox Swingset.
a podcast where we document the ins, outs, and upside downs of the swinger lifestyle from a beginner's perspective.
This podcast is recommended for the 18 and over crowd and contains adult content. So if you're not a grown up, please come back when you're of legal consenting age.
Welcome back, everybody, for episode 3 with the SilverFox Swingset and Swaptober.
Swaptober!
And how are you this evening, Mrs. SilverFox?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Glad to be here with you.
Glad to be home.
So we have had a very busy October. We're into November now, but it's taken us this long to catch up. But we went to, 3 events in October.
Mm-hmm.
We started with the Euphoria Halloween party.
Fun. I was a Jedi.
I was a Sith Lord.
So spicy.
And then we went to Princeton for the Halloween mega party.
Super mega.
And the following weekend, we went back to Princeton for a birthday party / follow-up party.
Yeah.
So let's start with Euphoria Halloween. I'd say we had a really good time. The crowd at Euphoria, amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
I love spending time with them.
Every time is a good time.
And just so everybody knows, Mrs. SilverFox has wanted to watch me make out with another woman for how long?
So it's literally the first step to swinging, I feel like. So it's been on my list since we started talking. And that, I feel like that's one of the things too that from the very beginning has been like a you don't have to ask permission first kind of a thing. Like that was one of those things where we were just like, okay, it's making out. You don't have to ask permission for that. If you're going to make out, make out. That shit's hot.
But we did have the conversation beforehand so that nobody was taken by surprise. And I say the outcome was as such. And let's see, at Euphoria, I ran into a genie and a lamp and really tried to fulfill Mrs. SilverFox's fantasy. I have tried very hard that night. I succeeded on multiple attempts of upholding my end of the agreement.
I don't know how many times you made out with that girl, but I missed every single time and didn't know till later. And Mr. SilverFox would say, "Did you see me make out with her? Did you see that? That was for you." Like, oh shit, no, I was busy talking. Every time I'm busy talking, I'm a talker.
I definitely have developed a crush on said genie.
Mm-hmm. She's
because
cute.
of said event.
Cute as a button.
And I've had some conversations with her husband, who is another amazing person. And maybe we can run into them in the future. That's kind of the hope. And what a great time we had that night.
For sure.
And I know the audience may be curious, and the answer to the question is no.
No.
We did not play that night.
To be fair, by no fault of our own, I was biologically indisposed to begin with. And since I knew that going in, my plan was to leave all my adulting at the door and drink wine, which I fucking did.
We found out that tumblers are probably not the best idea.
It's so handy, though, and everyone walks around with cool tumblers. So I thought, I'm going to bring my tumbler. I'm going to do a thing, Well, a whole bottle of wine fits in a tumbler. And within like an hour of being there, I would say my first tumbler was empty and I was refilling. And by the time that second tumbler hit on an empty stomach, I was fucking trashed. I'm just going to say it.
Well, in your defense, that was my first event. I probably had a little too much to drink myself, so let's call it even.
Fair.
Ray and Dee put on an amazing event every time.
So amazing.
Can't wait to see him probably at New Year's. We don't have that set in stone, but that's more than likely what's on the table. We do have a few other invites, but we just really, really feel at home with that crowd, I would say.
And I'm just going to put it out there. I have a new goal in life, and it is to sweet talk D into making out with me. There it is. There it fucking is.
Well, she is definitely a very attractive woman, and I enjoy it, and I'm a little jealous. Maybe I can get a kiss or two out of D. I don't know. I'm going to try.
You're not half as charming as I am. No, I'm enough. Kidding. No, that's not true.
And then fast forward to the following weekend, we went down to Princeton for the mega party, which was absolutely insane.
I think someone said that there was 800 people there. I don't know if that's accurate.
That was our first time to the club, and I do believe a lot of people told us that they were surprised that, you know, our first party at Princeton was the mega party. And, you know, honestly, I didn't find it extremely overwhelming, but there was definitely a lot happening.
A lot.
Didn't expect everything I saw that night, but was totally accepting, totally turned on. Made a lot of great new friends down there. Had a lot of fun at the club. Met not the owner that time. No, we didn't meet the owner that time, but we met up with some friends that we knew that were there. Had fun with them. Drank a little too much.
Oh my gosh.
Found out that we don't have great luck with Ubers, but we made it back there to the hotel and to the party alive by some grace of God.
By the grace of fucking God, man. So, something else, an interesting thing that, for me, that I have found out about, I'm not sure if it's all events or, well, I guess we don't have enough experience for me to say all events. I'll say in the club events that we've attended, it seems like to get what you want, you have to be forward. And I was not ready for that because I'm just not I'm pretty forward, except when it comes to sex. Like, I can't just look at a person and say, like, hey, what's up? You're hot. Do you want to fuck my husband? Like, or really anything like that. I'm more submissive. I like to be pursued. And I think that's what I was waiting on. But it seems like in situations like that, especially, you know, when everyone else also has 798 other people to choose from, that the best way to play is to just really be forward with people about wanting to play.
Couldn't agree with you more. Did have a great time, though, but never forward enough. And plus, we had, I would say, a little bit of disconnect that night between you and me. I was the more open-minded towards a lot more couples. I did want to be a little more pursuant, but at the same time, I was reserved. I do also like to be approached. And once I'm approached, I totally take it from there. I mean, that's no problem whatsoever. But I'm also not afraid to approach if I'm very, very serious and comfortable within the setting. But, you know, it's not our home field. It's our first time being away that far to an event, first time to an event there. And it was very difficult, I would say, to want to know, you know, can I approach these people? There were some rules there that had to be followed. They were enforced. Very easy, 4 rules, but very important 4 rules for that club. They took things very serious. You know, no cell phones was a major rule. No single males in the play area.
Any of the play areas.
Any of the play areas. Period.
Unless they're accompanied by a female or a couple.
Now, if you are a single male, you can be escorted back by a female, and she can escort back as many males as she thinks she can handle. But they cannot be left alone. And
smart.
So, yeah, very smart.
I love that rule. I think that's great.
No having sex in the hot tub, which I support fully.
1,000%. That's gross, people. Don't do that. Do it in your own hot tub. I'm not kink shaming. But yeah, Please don't fuck in the public hot tub. Come on.
Courtesy.
Common courtesy.
And so, let's see, what was the fourth rule? Oh, women can use any bathroom, but men can only use the designated men's bathroom. And the door has to remain open.
Sneaky.
Very smart, very clean facility.
And, well, for the mega party, too, they open up floors that aren't usually open, and it turns it into a 20,000 square foot space. Now, if you can picture 20,000 feet filled with areas for fucking, you will have some fraction of an idea of this awesome place.
I enjoyed the windowed viewing area where we spent most of the time. I guess I'll refer to it as the red bar. And the bartender was so cute. I mean, I walked in the door flirting with this gal.
God bless.
And I mean, it's
gorgeous.
Took all of like 3 seconds for her to say hello, for me to say a lot of different things.
A lot. She was a babe for sure.
I want to say she enjoyed for the most part, because outside of your day-to-day life, you're with a group of people that share a lot of commonalities that aren't shared in your day-to-day life. So that person can be their ultimate true open self, I would say, at one of these events. And she was sharing her day-to-day life with us. And, we were checking in our alcohol at that time. And what'd I say about the phone number? Because that was pretty funny. She said, what's your number? And asking for my alcohol tag number, which I think was 17 there or something along those lines. And I said, but if you're nice tonight, you can have all 10 numbers.
Oh, yeah. That was cute.
I really like that gal. Met some really cool people, not even from this country at that event. Had a great time. Very beautiful, too, people. Wow. Amazing time at the Halloween event in Princeton.
Except when it got to be, God, what was it, like 2 o'clock in the morning? And I was completely shit-faced and really wanted to play. Most of the couples by that point had already found someone else to play with, or they were too drunk, or people were leaving. So I did turn into such a brat. I was such a little bitch. I'll admit it. I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I feel bad about it, but I don't feel bad about admitting it. It is what it is. I wanted to fuck. Shit wasn't going to happen the right way. So I just went in full shutdown mode and was like, well, if we can't find other people to play with, then let's just go have sex ourselves. So we walked around this club 2 or 3 times trying to find an open room, an open bed, an open couch, an open floor space, an open table, an open bar. There was nowhere left in that club to have sex. Nowhere. Because everyone was already fucking, which, good for them. But that made me react even worse. I was so mad that we couldn't have sex there. But we, like you said, made it back to the hotel by some miracle of God. Was that the one where he curb checked when we got back, or was that the last?
No, that was at the Halloween event where I thought that man left the whole bottom of his car on the curb.
Fucking thing. It was crazy. I thought we died.
We were just pulling in the parking lot, so I said to Miss SilverFox, I don't care how bad his car is. We're right here. Walk.
We're done. Get out. It's time. So, we did get to take all that energy. Once I stopped being a little bit of not a little bit. I was a fucking brat. You punished me for it, though. It worked out okay.
Well, I had to take out your frustrations back out on you.
That's so true. I deserved it.
We definitely had a tough time connecting. You and I personally that night, just saying, okay, this is the couple. But again, we didn't want to pursue that night. We definitely thought that there were so many people there we'd like to be approached. We're super excited about that. And I don't think it has anything to do with being conceited in any way. I don't think we carry ourselves in that fashion.
No.
It's just sometimes you desire a certain scenario to happen, and the law of averages there says there was enough people that scenario had more than a possibility of playing itself out, and it didn't happen.
Well, and I'm submissive. I mean, I don't like to initiate. I like to be pursued. I like to be chased a little bit. I like someone else to be the aggressor and take the lead. So, but also I think, we talked about afterwards that that maybe has something to do, our disconnect, I think, has something to do with what everyone calls the elusive four-way connection, which I think we didn't really understand until that event. And what it kind of made us realize is that maybe we should be more open to things like, I don't really even know how to word it, open to things like swapping where maybe the people we're swapping with aren't necessarily partners. Like, to me, after being at events like that, I feel like the way I feel is if you find somebody that you want to connect with and I find somebody that I want to connect with, even if they're not a couple, that doesn't really bother me as long as we are both getting to play and I either get to see you or hear you or hear about it later.
I mean, of course, you're going to hear about whatever we do later.
For sure.
So...
But I don't think I'm as opposed to that kind of thing after being at an event like that where, it was kind of really in my face like, okay, this is what the elusive four-way connection is, where you were looking at some of these gals like, ooh, fuck yeah. And then I was kind of looking at the guy like, maybe.
I have a tough time, I would say, looking at the male of the couple, whereas you being attracted to both sexes of the couple, you study both the couple.
Oh, I take them both in.
As I have said to a couple very nice gentlemen, and I have nothing against bi men, but I am very decidedly straight. And so, I don't spend really any time looking at you guys.
It's 0%.
I am very attracted to women, and that's where my focus is. So I think we get off on the wrong foot almost immediately because you're taking the couple as a whole. I'm physically attracted to the woman. I didn't take time to look at the man. I'm still going to continue on that path and not do that for the most part. But I started to, I guess, get disinterested because just about every person I stated that night, the answer was almost a no, following it. So by the time we were halfway through the night or getting into what I would say would be more of a playing hour where a lot of it's starting to really take off and people are connecting, you got the voyeurism room and stuff like that, things are turning on. I was starting to say, well, I guess I don't know what you are looking for this evening, and the way I had stated, if you just tell me, it would make things a lot easier, kind of maybe came off in a more of an abrasive fashion than I had intended when I had said it. And that maybe was the beginning of where the disconnect that night started happening. I wouldn't say it was anything that we were anywhere close to being upset at each other.
No.
Just to be perfectly clear, but it's easy. I know you extremely, extremely well, but I would have to say that that's probably where it started because of I'm losing interest in the evening. We're not connecting any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying is always being denied. So if you're gonna take that approach, then take the lead. And it wasn't something I think we had ever really discussed until it happened.
Well, and I don't think we knew that we should be discussing it because we had never experienced it. So, reflecting on that, like the next day when I sobered up and really thought about the night is kind of where, the conversation about the elusive four-way connection and maybe swapping with people that aren't partners kind of came in.
And friends of ours, they do that pretty regularly, and it works out very, very well. I don't know what conversations they have in the background, and it's none of my business. And, I'm fine with whatever's decided, but I'd say, I'm a little more open-minded to it.
Yeah.
Because of that reason, where I may be very attracted to her. She's interested in me. Her husband will let her play. And, you find that. But, yeah, I don't think it's always going to be just as easy as you attend an event. You're going to make that connection. You're going to go play, and everybody's going to be just in the most magical setting out there. That's a little more difficult to find than I guess we anticipated.
Sure.
And I would say that we have somewhat of a similar taste in women, but also in some other fashion, very, very dissimilar.
Sure.
I would say your spectrum is far broader than my spectrum.
I would agree.
And I don't know if we'll get closer together as we talk more on time, because I would say that you definitely point out more features of people that I don't so much pay attention to, but now I'm starting to appreciate because something's been pointed out to me that I haven't previously really sought or wanted to experience. But the way you describe it, now it's like, oh, okay. Now I'm seeing that some things I didn't before, and kind of broadening my spectrum and my horizons.
Yeah. So long and short of that night, I was a little crybaby bitch, and
I wouldn't go that far.
I was a brat, though.
You were a brat.
I did get punished for it, rightfully so. Oh, for that party too, I was an inmate, and
I was a police officer. So Miss SilverFox that night ran into a woman that she had to handcuff quite a few times.
She kind of made me handcuff her.
Every time.
She tricked me. She was a nice girl, though.
We did have a couple that we had met there, wanted to play that night. It just didn't happen again. And it's no fault of anyone's own.
No.
We've made a connection with them on several occasions, and we're pretty certain and positive that...
Oh, no. Well, we've talked about them before. That would be our first draft pick from episode 1. So, first draft pick, still in the fucking running. We still talk to them. They're still super hot, super fabulous. But we just can't seem to make everything line up just right. But I'm not giving up hope there. I feel like
I'm definitely not. As everyone knows, it's no secret when she and I get around each other, there's definitely a mutual attraction. And
I don't know how you can help it. She's so fucking hot.
There's no secret that her husband and you have a very flirtatious connection.
He touches my hip in a way. I like it.
Well, he's a gentleman.
He smells good.
He's very pleasant. I like him as a person. I talk to him outside of events. And
I bet he comes really loud. You wouldn't care about that, but
again,
I think about it.
I really concern myself with in my day-to-day.
That's hot.
But I have all confidence that something's going to happen between us.
Yeah, I like them.
It's very mutual.
Even if something doesn't happen, they're two
amazing
of the
friends.
Fucking coolest people that we've met in lifestyle so far.
They've showed us quite a few things. Introduced us to quite a few people.
For sure.
We get to sit at the cool kids table, and that's
I
always
love
awesome.
that. The cool kids table is amazing. I know what I've been missing my whole life.
But we went back to the hotel. We had amazing, amazing sex that night. I really enjoyed myself. And dirty little secret about Mrs. SilverFox and I is that, oh yeah, it's time for the secret.
It's secret time?
It is.
We didn't discuss this in the outline.
Is after every event we go to, Mr. SilverFox has to get a swinger burrito, breakfast burrito from McDonald's. I definitely recover quicker on my burritos.
Oh my gosh, I do enjoy that breakfast stop with you after events in the morning. And typically I don't have my coffee first, so it's like I'm full zombie driving home, just waiting to see a sign for my babe to get swinger burritos. Fun.
So, wah. Event, again, we did not play. Had every intention on to, but
All
hey,
the intentions.
it happens.
Yeah, it's okay.
We had a great conversation after we had sex that night.
And I think it was important for me to be a brat, to recognize the next day what a fucking brat I was, and how, like, I recognize how that attitude could ruin the whole, like, effectively I could have ruined the whole night. Like,
I didn't ruin the whole night.
No, definitely not. But it could have, and that was rude, and that's something I need to work on in myself. And now that I know that being forward is the way to get what I want.
I don't know how you'd know that yet.
Well, I mean, now that I know from that event, because nothing happened, and I watched how everyone else was behaving, now that I know that in order to play the way we want to, we're going to have to step out of our comfort zone a little bit and approach people to be more approachable, I think.
So after said mega party, if you attend, you can attend the following weekend at the club for free, just so everyone knows.
Oh, shit.
So in the meantime, Mrs. SilverFox had been lining up a date that we had planned long before the event with a couple that we could now fast forward to the following weekend. And I'm in an extremely busy time of year. My busiest time of year by a long shot at work. So I was just dying to get through the week.
Yes.
So we got to Saturday. We drove down to Columbus, got our hotel room, which I was
I'm just going to say,
disappointed in.
I want everyone to hear this and hear me. Not every hotel chain is created fucking equally. Because we booked the same hotel chain for the Halloween party. The room was clean. It smelled good. It was lovely. Everything about the hotel was great. So good, in fact, that for the next weekend, because we had a dinner date lined up that I thought was going to end in playtime, I booked a room with a double bed at the same hotel, or so I thought. Well, I don't know if you've ever booked a hotel room in Columbus, but there's so many fucking tiny cities in Columbus that when you think you've booked a hotel in one city, you've actually booked one 5 minutes away, which is completely... Anyway, this hotel of the same chain fucking sucked. It smelled like bad weed. There was like construction and painting. There was a couple of hallways where the lights were blinking like a horror movie. One of the fucking mattress covers was stained. Gross.
Very gross.
No hot water in the shower. And worst of all, and I know it's not their fault, but it kind of is, I left my favorite pair of unicorn slippers and my extra leftover bottle of wine and my expensive dentist prescribed toothpaste in that fucking hotel room. And I'm still really sad about it. I left a terrible review. Do I feel bad? No, I don't. Your hotel sucked.
It was bad. But we did eat at an amazing restaurant.
Oh, my gosh.
Shout out to Roosters.
Oh, Roosters. God bless you.
Wow, what an amazing dinner.
So we didn't pick the place. Our date picked the place. And I will say that the male part of this couple and I, prior to the dinner date, had spent, 5 days of talking almost 4 hours a day, building up a sexual anticipation, planning this dinner. And so I can't even tell you how excited we were to meet these people, because our main plan was to meet them, go to the party, maybe soft swap if the mood was right at the party, and then call them before we left the club and have them meet us back at the hotel room, where I really wanted a full swap. And I felt like I lined that shit right up.
Oh, just by the way you were talking to me about it, I guess I was ready to go.
Oh, I was ready.
Let's go to dinner.
I was a sure thing.
Club, you know.
Yep.
Because it was a friend's birthday party. We wanted to see him, wish him a happy birthday.
Very low key.
No matter what, we were going to be there. Have a couple of drinks.
Go get fucked.
We wound up taking our 10-mile-per-hour Uber, which we had to be there before 9.
Barely.
Thank God.
Barely.
2 minutes before 9, we walked in the door, and we left 40 minutes prior to get to somewhere 11 minutes away.
Wild. That bitch could not drive.
Well, we got there.
I don't know how.
We got there. Again.
I thought I was going to have to get out of the car and push it while she was driving.
I probably could have ran faster.
Jesus. We could have ran faster, but we would have been so sweaty.
But very nice person, I'll say.
Yeah. Okay, okay, you can say that. Bless your heart. Thank you, Esther, for the drive. You were okay.
We get to the club. We get in. We check in. We put our drinks at the table. The birthday girl had the center table reserved. So, again, awesome sitting with our friends at the Cool Kids table.
So fun.
Ran into quite a few people we actually knew from prior events. Some of my favorite people, the owners of SLS. Mm-hmm. Just amazing people. I forget what their name, Frankenstein couple, because he really enjoys Young Frankenstein. And, I really love them too. Honestly, I don't want to say their real names. I don't have that permission.
No. But she made me laugh so fucking hard.
Oh my God.
I thought I was going to fall on the floor laughing. And like the more time that I spend with them, oh God, I'm not even going to say it.
And so,
but
I want to bring everybody back to where I said what one of the fantasies for Mrs. SilverFox was. Wanting to watch me make out with a woman. And I'm going to tell everybody, I gave it a hell of a go that night again.
So many goes.
I made out with the birthday girl. Yes. I made out with another great couple that we had met's wife.
Was that gal with her tits out?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Several times.
She was so hot, too. And I was staring.
Amazingly hot.
I think you probably were making out when I was staring right at her titties. They were so wonderful.
And there was 2 other women in, like, literally 5 inches from you.
And making out all over the place, you little make-out whore.
And every time hey, did you see that one? And she's like, no. And then I just said, you know what, to hell with it. I'm doing it for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. Babe, do it for you.
And they were amazing.
That's what the permission is for. Except hearing afterwards, like, I made out with this person. I made out with this person. I need to up my fucking A game and make out with more people at these parties. Like, I think I'm still so stuck in the mindset that you might feel some kind of way that I'm just not doing it. But I just need to do it.
I think you just need to do it.
I do.
So those women were gorgeous. They enjoy the beard. They love my beard.
Yeah.
Which is...
Mama likes that beard, too.
I like that compliment very much.
Even straight guys compliment your beard.
Right.
That shit's hot.
But I'm the silver. You're the fox. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed making out with all these wonderful women that evening. Back at Princeton, again for this event. And I really like it there.
I really do too.
I like the club.
I'm glad we got a year membership.
Me too.
So fucking worth it.
I like the way it's set up going around. The playrooms.
Good feng shui.
Yes, exactly. There's plenty of playrooms except for on Mega Party night.
Oh, you'll never find a room on Mega Party. But on a regular night, plenty of playrooms.
And the gentleman who I would say is the club manager that gave us the tour on the first one, which we love a tour.
Oh, love it.
And so...
Make me feel special.
He was very, very... I would say approachable, and he just flat out, these are the rules, don't break them, and went through them one by one. Appreciated him for that. And
he seemed genuinely happy to have us back the second weekend.
Genuinely
recognized
happy to
us,
have us back.
Welcomed us back. Just That's one nice thing about like these events and these clubs and stuff. It's like people really do. It's very inclusive. People want you to feel included. They want you to feel good. They want you to feel sexy. They want you to come back. And he was really good about that.
And it's okay just to walk up to somebody and say, hey, I think you're freaking beautiful. And I think you're amazing. And may I have a kiss? And I'd say everyone I asked that night was a full taker.
Is that how you say it?
I don't walk up and just say, do you want a kiss?
Oh.
But pretty close to that. I would, with the girl that had her top off that you couldn't stop
I think she probably kissed you.
She just walked right up to me and just kissed me.
She was an aggressive bird.
Very aggressive love.
I don't know why I didn't get a kiss too.
It was the beard.
Gosh.
She couldn't stop talking
That's
about
it.
And I didn't want her to.
Growing a beard.
You should not. No, she actually had walked up to me, but she was with a couple that we actually went on our first date with. Mm-hmm. So we had ran into them. Mrs. SilverFox got an amazing hug from his wife, which she was. Oh, she is drop dead gorgeous.
Turquoise hair, pierced everything.
Oh, just beautiful woman.
Great tits, great everything, just great.
Husband, him and I have a lot of nerdy interests together.
So many, you fucking nerds.
And I would say the thing
and him and I too.
Yeah, a lot of things in common.
I have a lot of things in common,
and
sure.
I have, what's weird is if you switch just small, minute details and, a couple things here and there, he is your male version. You are the female version of him. And his wife and I are almost the same, where she's the female version of me and I'm the male version of her. So the commonalities and the interests were almost identical, just the opposite
just switched.
sex.
Yeah.
It was, so we hit it off with them very well. He actually wore Star Wars socks that night because he knew I was coming.
Yes.
And what an amazing
considerate
guy. What an amazing guy. Like, thank you so much for that if you ever hear this. But great running into them. So that gal, she had just walked, they introduced, they said, hi, this is so-and-so. And I introduced myself, and then we were just making out. It was just that quick. She just walked up, and that's what we did. And so then I talked to her and her husband for a little bit after that. You were there. Of course, you missed that too. Somehow. I mean, you were just away from her.
I just talk to everyone. I'm such a little yapper. And again, drinking. I was almost 2 bottles of wine in, again, trying to take it a little easier this time because I knew how I would get if I drank too fast.
And then we did it a second time, me and the gal we had just met, because she had the amazing set of lips and what a goddamn good kisser, I will say.
You're barely speaking English right now.
Oh, just remembered it. Oh, goddamn. Very much enjoyed that, obviously. Mm-hmm. So we start moving in a direction where we think it's not going to happen again. We've been stood up.
I was still in that headspace. I wanted to play so bad, though. So bad. And also it was daylight savings time. So the time was going to change back. Like, we had an extra hour to play, to drink, to whatever. And what was it? Probably, I'm going to say about 1 o'clock in the morning.
I think it was 1:30, somewhere in there. Irrelevant. And we went that direction. And so we got together, and Mrs. SilverFox asked if we wanted to play with the couple, with the gal with the turquoise hair. Mm-hmm. And I think she's so gorgeous.
You didn't even...
It wasn't even a hesitation. Like, finally, I'm glad you asked.
Thank God you asked.
And it was a safari print night.
Animal print safari night, yeah.
Yeah, so she had on a leopard dress that was skin tight.
It's fucking skin tight.
With an amazingly perfect body. and looked phenomenal with her boots up to her knees, actually up to past her knees, and then her socks were just below her knees. But we'll get to why we know that.
I don't remember boots or socks. I'm just going to say it.
Well, we couldn't find them.
Mm-mm. And when I tell you I fucking looked. I scoured that club.
And we were like, oh, no.
They left.
Yeah, they left for the night.
Their friends were gone. They were gone. So, I mean, plan B is having sex with you is always fun.
But we wanted to play at the club.
Yes, in a room.
With the door open.
Yes.
We wanted to see what that was like and have that experience.
Wanted to know if I like people watching. Because we don't know.
Yeah,
I like watching other people, which I learned at Princeton in the viewing room. But wasn't sure if I liked people watching me.
But that was the plan B. So we headed towards the playroom. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you know.
Found one. Fresh new sheets.
And I was excited. My shirt was probably already off.
Your shirt was practically off and falling on the floor. And we turned the corner and saw the room, and the attendant guy that was, had changed the sheets was just coming out and motioned towards it like a long-haired, bearded Vanna White and said, clean room, fresh sheets, it's all yours. And when we turned to walk into the room, lo and behold, here sits Little Miss, pierced everything and turquoise hair, and her Star Wars sock-clad husband sitting just outside the room that we wanted to go into, just hanging out on a couch.
Yeah, I guess I'm reliving it in my mind.
I know, me too. Where for a moment the heavens opened and shined out, and you could hear, ah.
So we rolled the dice.
I feel like you pinched my elbow.
I did pinch your
elbow.
Did
you? Okay, I felt like there was some kind of visual or
just so you
some kind of clue. Yeah, like
because I would definitely say I'm the more observant one of the group.
Oh, for sure. Well, and once we decided we were gonna fuck, all I cared about was getting into that room and fucking. So I didn't notice anything else. And when you gave me a little pinch and I looked over and they were sitting there, I went so far outside of my comfort zone. And
you just walked right over there without even saying anything to me.
I shot my fucking shot and said, Mr. SilverFox and I are thinking about going into this room to fuck. Do you guys want to come in and soft swap to give it a shot? And she was very receptive. She said, yes, give me 5 minutes. Be right back. So 5 minutes later.
Let's not forget about your kiss before.
Oh, yeah, I did kiss her before she went to go.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So hot.
Just wanted to make sure everything was going to be okay.
Everything was perfect.
It was going to be perfectly fine. Her lips are so soft.
And so she came back, and we went into the room together. Mm-hmm. And I will say, we're not a kiss and tell of what happened in there.
Oh, God, I want to so bad, though.
Oh, we talk about it.
What can I say?
I don't think we should talk about what we do behind closed doors, but we can share some of the things. Like we did leave the door open.
Ooh, yeah.
For everyone.
That was, we were.
So if you were
there.
We
were not kissing and telling for a little while, and I said, does anybody care if we open the door? And nobody opposed at all. So,
but we can't have cell phones in there for a reason. So if we can't document what we've done in the room,
I wish we could have recorded
then
it.
I don't think we can. We should share what
fair.
Happened.
So,
but we definitely played.
Everyone said yes to opening the door, and I turned around and looked at you, and I didn't know if you could hear me, the question I was asking them. So I turned around and looked at you and said, go open that fucking door. And your eyes were so big, I thought, he thinks I'm joking. But you got right up and opened the door.
And to qualify that, I am hearing impaired. Mm-hmm. So I do wear hearing aids, and chances are good I did not hear it.
Probably not. Well, and there was a lot of visual stimuli happening that I think probably would have kept you from hearing anything.
I was focused.
I don't like not kissing and telling. I want to say things.
But we definitely played that night.
Oh, my God.
And it was phenomenal.
Fucking phenomenal.
And opened a door to a lot of things that we said were not on the table yet. Mm-hmm. I'd say swung that door wide open.
Wide fucking open.
And we found out that we actually enjoy a lot more than what we thought.
Yeah.
And are okay with a lot more than what we thought. Where we said, oh, I don't want somebody watching us. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think if the guy wants to sit out, that's okay. I'm pretty okay if somebody wants to just stand there and watch. I found that out. That's an amazing new talent.
I like being watched. I wish. Oh gosh, I don't know how to say this in a way where I'm not giving too much stuff away, but I wish my face hadn't have been covered in such a way that I could have seen the door, because later I found out that there was, a huge number of people that stopped and watched, and I wish I could have seen that. That's hot.
It was definitely hot.
So now you know where the first time we went and I said, oh, I would never in the big viewing room. You know, I'm not ready for that. I couldn't do that. Well, I changed my mind about that. I think especially if I'm going to be with a woman, I am always going to pick that room first. Like if I'm just going to be with a woman by myself, I'm taking her to that room. That's where I want to go.
Gratuity from the crowd will come.
Yeah, I want people to see.
I didn't mind whatsoever. At one point I looked over, saw a beautiful woman enjoying what was taking place. I had two wonderfully beautiful women surrounding me, and I felt amazing at that moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And enough to smile and toss out a wink, that's for sure. And I had just a great time. A great time.
I want to say so much more stuff.
And so we went back to the hotel that night. We had a connection prior to the event, though.
Oh, yeah. Only a little bit.
What a tease you are.
I know, but I didn't want to make you come before an event like that, because then I knew that if you fucked someone else, it was going to take longer. And, you know, what if she was sensitive, or what if she just wanted to... You
just thought blue balls was far better solution.
I thought that was a way, but plus I love anticipation build up. I love it.
We originally said we weren't going to do anything, but then just lying in bed though, God damn, your hair smells so good.
We watched that video from Cassidy.
Oh yeah.
Of that gal masturbating. Oh my God. I love her videos. And that, well, and then once you started rubbing, you fucking know.
Bygones.
What does that even mean? What are you, fucking Mr. Belvedere? Shut up. Bygones, whatever. I don't feel bad about giving you blue balls. I would do it again right now.
My after-event swinger burrito turned into after-event double burrito. Oh my God. And I'm not a very big man to begin with.
That shit hits different.
It did hit different after a night of playing. And we had a wonderful conversation. And once we got back to the hotel, we had a wonderful conversation in the morning on the way home. And we definitely had some amazing sex the following night. Amazing.
That reconnection sex, which I don't know if it really applies when you're not full swapping. I don't know. I don't really know. Whatever. I don't really care. Reconnection sex, I think, can happen whether you're full swapping or soft swapping or whatever. I don't know, but that shit was phenomenal. I think we were both really thinking about what had happened the night before, and that made it wetter and better.
And it carried on for a couple nights.
I came really fast. For a couple days.
Yeah, and the next 2 nights was phenomenal.
And typically I can hold off on that, but also you're very sneaky because you know so many things about me. So I feel like when we have sex, we have two completely different agendas. I'm trying to hold out so that we can come together. You're trying to get me to come as fast as you can so that you, I guess, win a gold medal or something. I don't know, but we are on two completely different agendas for sure when we're having sex together.
Well, I think you're after the perfect timing in some magical world where we both hit at the same exact time.
Yeah, I like that. Or close.
It doesn't happen as often as you'd want it to.
You're sneaky, that's why.
But as long as we both get there, and I think we most often, 90 high some percentile of the time, we both always get there.
That's true.
But every now and again, we have a little too much to drink.
Oh, I get wine dicks so easy. Any more than 2 bottles of wine, and I'm never going to get there. Which, I mean, is fine. Like, to me, I think... good sex is good sex. I don't necessarily have to come for me to say, wow, that was really, really good, or, you know, that felt great, because I think as long as it's consensual and it feels good, all sex is good sex. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
And I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine, because no matter what the outcome is for me, it's amazing.
You are sneaky, though. You know too many of my secrets.
I do, and I use them all against you.
I know, especially when you know that I'm trying to hold out. I feel like you are sneaky. I like your sneakiness.
So, it happened. It was amazing. Can't wait for it to happen again. We want to keep in touch with those people. Again, they were our first date. They were our first couple. Had an amazing time.
Yeah, kind of our first everything. Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
There was number 6 that night, and finally...
I did see.
Mrs. SilverFox got to watch me make out with a woman. Mm-hmm. And how was that? I blocked traffic.
It was... You cock blocked all the traffic. It was really hot. I think mostly because I knew what it felt like to make out with her. So when I saw you making out with her, I felt it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Really hot.
Yeah. Did you actually feel how soft her lips was? And how gentle.
Are you really going to ask me if I felt how soft her lips were right now?
No, when I was kissing her.
Oh, okay.
And how gentle and soft her tongue was.
So soft everything, yeah.
Oh, phenomenal. Smell great, too.
Don't get me started, because I'm going to give too many details.
Yeah.
There's so many things I want to say.
It smelled so wonderful. What a good time. What a good time.
I want to see her again bad.
I agree. But on the other hand, what do we have coming up?
What do we have coming up?
I would say, we're getting into December. So there's a party the first week of December at Euphoria. Don't know if we're going to attend yet.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know if we're going to make that event. We'll see where I'm at.
I want to, but your work schedule's so fucking weird now.
Well, we had a date that night, which looks like it's probably not going to pan out. So maybe we go to that event
I do not want to talk about that in this podcast.
And that's totally fine, but that's not going to work out that night. So we could possibly be going to Euphoria for the first week in December. And then we have New Year's Eve right around the corner after that. Being that it's Thanksgiving time of year, we don't have a lot of time on our hands to find another event. But, if a date comes up, a dinner date, during the week, I'm open-minded towards it, but nothing planned, I would say, is this moment until New Year's for sure.
For sure, New Year's. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. I really do want to play before that, though.
I do, too.
Now that we had a taste, I just want to jump in and full swap.
I would agree.
So bad.
Wholeheartedly. But, again, making that connection, we made it once. And we made it with people we already knew. Mm-hmm. I think it's fair to assume that in our law of averages right now that the chances are against us that we'll find that connection at the next event, but I'm really hoping it's there.
I disagree.
Do you?
Yeah, I think now that we know, I don't, it's one of those things where I think like when you know the rules to the game, it's easier to play.
Okay, fair enough.
And I think.
So you think the ultimate
Yeah,
approach,
I think now that we know
just go after what you.
Yeah, we have
like.
to be more forward for what we're interested in.
I would say so.
And the fact that we're open to, swapping with other people that aren't necessarily couples, I think opens us up to a lot more as well.
Fair enough.
So, and we keep talking about law of averages, and honestly, the law of averages has really fucking sucked so far, and it really hasn't made any sense. We were at a party with 798 other people, and we didn't fuck anybody, we didn't kiss anybody, we talked to a few people, but we didn't make any solid connections with anybody. Like,
no.
Where was your law of averages then?
Yeah.
It was
would have said that we should have met him, but
right.
Somebody else met him first.
Right. So.
But we didn't really approach anybody, and being the new kids on the block, because a lot of those people had familiarity with each other, I think we have to be a little more outgoing into approaching people when we're at a place where we haven't been before. And
that's kind of where I'm at. I'm done with the whole law of averages thing. I think it's easy to fall back on and it's easy to lean on.
Sure.
But I think that if we want something, we just have to tell people we want it. And if they say no, then okay. But
that's fine.
At least we said it. Also, I do want to talk about what we talked about last time, which was the swinging forward thing.
That's on my mind.
Okay,
so
okay.
I don't know. I don't know quite yet what I want to do swinging forward, but hopefully by the time you're done, I'll come up with it.
Well, I want to go back to our swinging forward from last time, where
recap.
Yeah, where we talked about wanting to play. Fucking check and mate. Okay, we did that. I said I wanted to buy a butt plug. Okay, fun. Bought a butt plug. Have not used it, but it's cute as a button, and I have it. And now my butthole can be a magical little treasure whenever I work up the courage to play with it.
Do you remember what mine was?
No.
Because I don't either.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
I hope I get to check them off.
We probably did.
I'll have to go back and listen with everybody else to find out what that is. I apologize.
So, swinging forward for whatever happens next, I want a full swap. I want to hear you make another woman come so bad.
Oh, I want to share details of things I did, but I can't.
Mm-mm.
I am fully on board 100% with that. I'm open to a lot of different full swap scenarios at this point. Mm-hmm. As far as same room, different room, whatever, that's all on the table. So I do want to see a lot of things take place. I love watching you with another woman. So same room. It's not going to be something I necessarily desire because I do want to see you with them. But if we start in the same room and then go to different rooms, totally 100%, whatever.
I'd like to find a unicorn swinging forward. I would love to give that gift to both of us. I'd feel like, the no kiss and tell thing kind of fucks up everything. But I feel like I was very considerate of where you were in the room.
Oh, my God.
And how best visually I could bring pleasure to you.
Checkmate. I didn't realize that until we had talked about it the next day, mm-hmm. what an effort you had made towards, where I was and what you were doing and how to make that stimulating.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
wanted you to see.
And because I thought everything in my mind that I could possibly ever want to see was happening. And to think that you were consciously conscious of making that happen and being considerate in that fashion. Like, why would you be? She was so fucking hot. But thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. That knowing that I don't know, made you more excited, also made me more excited. Like, you verbalized a lot of what you were enjoying, and that made everything more enjoyable to me too, and I think to her too. She could hear you also.
And so,
what was my sound that I could not.
Yeah, for the next 2 days,
like 48 hours, I was like a little baby windstorm.
Like every now and again, you just hear, and I'm like, well, I know what she's thinking about. It's not me, for the record.
No. Fuck.
So, swinging forward, I want to full swap too. I mean, of course, I think that's on the table for me as well. The unicorn sounds fun. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to pursue a unicorn.
Yeah, they're tricky.
It seems
elusive, even more than the full-way connection.
It seems like something will happen if it's meant to happen rather than something to go looking for.
Yeah, fair.
If it happens, wonderful. If it doesn't happen...
I feel the same way.
You know,
I'm not going to actively put an ad out for a unicorn.
Right.
But if we run into one...
But swinging forward for Mr. SilverFox, I am very open to hosting 2 or more couples at the house. How do you feel about that?
I definitely have a few in mind that I would invite.
I'm very open-minded to participating in the viewing room, too. So I think swinging forward, I may want to put that on my checklist as well.
Yeah, I feel like as long as I didn't have too much or too little to drink, I could be a viewing room wife. I feel like that's something I could do.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm going to dive in with you.
Okay. You're going to make me be on top, aren't you?
I'm going to make you be everywhere.
Okay.
I've got a whole list of shit for you to do.
A whole list of shit. I like that. Okay.
But to the end of episode 3, again, we just continue to learn more and more about each other. Gosh, our sex life is getting hot.
It's always been hot. It's getting hotter. I want to add something to swinging forward that I've talked to a lot of other couples, especially on like swing towns, about, is I want to go toy shopping with you. I want us to experiment a little bit with different toys just to see. Maybe start with like a cock ring and something that vibrates, because I love things that vibrate. And we can go from there.
You got a deal. I'll take you up on that offer.
You'll take me to the adult bookstore?
I will.
You're going to buy me whatever I want?
I don't know about whatever. Some of those dolls in there are thousands of dollars. I'm not going to
I don't need a sex doll. We can start small.
You're not ruling it out.
I'm easy to please. A cock ring and something that buzzes.
I think if I'm going to pick something out, I'm not too sure. I would go with a toy. I feel like I'm a dumb guy in that arena. I would buy something I'd purely want to see, and you'd have to use it purely for my satisfaction, and that doesn't seem right.
Well, would you use it on me?
Maybe. I don't know.
I want something that I can use on myself, but that you also will use on or in me.
I guess we'll have to go shopping and find out what that thing is.
That's exciting. I like that.
But I may pick out some piece of clothing.
Something slutty and terribly uncomfortable. I already know. And if it's a schoolgirl, I'm not wearing it.
I don't really see
cliche.
how yoga pants and a sports bra is uncomfortable, but
yeah, that's
okay.
True. And
those are my kind of requests.
That's one of your favorites too.
Yes,
that's true.
So
let's mention quick where everybody can find us. So you can find we're on all platforms, all one word. We are SilverFox 79. You can find me on Cassidy, where I'm a certified photographer for the Naked Eye, capital I photography. You can find me on Swing Towns, SilverFox79 again. You can find Mr. SilverFox on
swinglifestyle.com and Swinger Zone Central, but you won't find me on Swinger Zone Central that much. It's not my favorite platform.
Fair.
I do like swinglifestyles.com a lot better. But if you do message me on Swinger Zone Central, don't give up on me. I will find your message, and I literally respond to everyone, including the single males I don't want to talk to. If you are a single male and you message me, it will be hilarious what I say back to you. And if you respond back to me with something hilarious,
maybe,
you may be surprised.
Just maybe.
What I might say back. But if you're going to reach out to me, just be polite, as I will be back. And same with Mrs. SilverFox. We are very, very responsive people on our platforms. You can also email us at the silverfoxswingset@gmail.com if you want to reach out in something a little more discreet, if you would. So
yeah, you want to take us out to dinner? Want to go have drinks? We're open in December.
And we like to travel too, so don't think you're
like to travel.
Necessarily out of range for us. We love meeting new people.
We love road trips. We fell in love on a road trip.
And as you've heard me say before in the past, if anything, we'll have a good night. If everything, we'll have an amazing one. I'm not sure. I'm just flat out not sure. I'm thinking really hard here.
I feel like you got lost in our last Saturday for a minute because your eyes rolled back in your head. One thing I want to do. Oh, there's so many things I want to do. Yeah, you're gonna have to edit all of this.
Oh,
you're a mess.
For sure. This is terrible.